Hey there all you YouTubers, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be removing a wheel liner out of a 2022 Corvette Z06 Stingray. This episode will be focusing strictly on the wheel liner removal. Check out my other episodes for removing the rear bumper off of the Z06 for repairs that we'll have to get done on that next. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and well, let's just get into this process. You'll want to start by jacking up the vehicle. I like to put a towel down on the jack and then place the jack underneath the plastic jacking pad. The towel will help prevent scratches to the plastic jacking pad. You'll want to make sure not to jack up the vehicle in the middle of the rocker, as you could damage the fiberglass on the rocker. After you get the vehicle raised to a comfortable working height, you'll want to put a jack stand underneath the rear suspension as to keep the car suspended and not rely on the jack to hold the vehicle up in the air. You want to remember to work safely and that a hydraulic jack can lose pressure and fall down at any time. In this video, I did not put a jack stand or a block of wood under the suspension. Don't use me as an example. And remember what your mother said. Do as I say, not as I do. Here we're going to use a plastic wedge tool. You can find these wedge tools at your local auto parts store or Harbor Freight Tools, even a tool truck if you have one. We're going to stick the wedge tool between the bumper and the mud flap, and then we're going to give it a little bit of a 1/4 inch turn in order to release the metal clip on the mud flap from the bumper cover itself. There's about 4 metal clips on the mud flap. You're just going to work this tool all the way down until all the clips are released from the bumper. So underneath the mud flap, what we have is 3 T25 Torx screws that need to be removed in order to get the bumper off and also to get the wheel liner out. It's a good idea here to get a light to shine inside of the wheel opening to locate all your T25 Torx screws. The Torx screws are a black screw with a black washer on it, and they blend in very well against the black wheel liner. Okay, now that you've found all your Torx screws from the face of the wheel liner, you can go ahead and switch over to your 7mm socket and remove all of your bolts on the underside of the wheel liner. You will also find 3 of these 7mm bolts on the face of the wheel liner as well. They're black, and on the black wheel liner they kind of disappear inside of there as well. Now that you think you've removed all your Torx screws and your 7mm bolts, you can switch over to your clip removing tool. With your clip removing tool, you'll want to insert the tool between the head of the clip and the body of the clip. And then you want to pry out to release the head of the clip away from the body of the clip. And then put your clip removing tool behind the body of the clip and give it another pry to remove the clip out of the wheel liner. Go ahead and gently pull down on the wheel liner, and you'll notice that you have forgotten a clip, a bolt, or some type of fastener inside of this wheel liner because you just didn't use a light to find them all. Go ahead and go back in there, release the clip or bolt that you forgot, and go ahead and tug on the wheel liner again. As you're pulling on the wheel liner again, you'll notice you forgot another clip or fastener. So go ahead and get that one removed now, and then go ahead and give that wheel liner another tug. Now that you're sure you've removed all your clips and bolts, you can move to the bottom forward part of the wheel liner and pull gently on the bottom to release the wheel liner from in between the frame and the skid plate of the vehicle. If you were just to pull down on that wheel liner and try to pull it out, you could possibly tear the wheel liner on the bottom here. Make sure when you're putting the wheel liner back in the vehicle that you go ahead and put the wheel liner back in between the frame and the skid plate of the vehicle. Otherwise, the wheel liner will not fit properly underneath there. Go ahead and pull out that last clip that you knew that you left in the wheel liner that would prevent you from pulling this wheel liner out. Get that out of the way. Throw it across the room if you want to. And then go ahead and gently pull that wheel liner out of its opening, and you have now successfully removed a wheel liner out of a 2022 C8 Corvette. Okay, now that you have your wheel liner out, let's take a look inside the opening. You'll notice that some of your clips may have fallen out. You want to take those clips, put them back in their respective positions. If they feel a little loose, all you want to do is give them a little squeeze to tighten them up, and then slip them back over the hole, and you should hear a clipping sound as they go back over the hole. Take a look in the entire wheel opening to make sure that none of the clips have fallen out. If any of the clips have fallen out and you don't find them, it's really hard to re-secure your wheel liner later when there is no clip to put your bolt into. So look the entire opening over carefully, make sure to locate anything that is missing. Let's take a look at some small clips I normally have a problem with. There are these square clips that are clipped into the frame of the vehicle. They're very loose on the frame. They're not your typical clip. It requires a bolt to go through them to keep them tight up against the body. If you plan on doing any work on the car and keeping the wheel liner out for an extended length of time, it might be a good idea to remove these clips and then reinstall them right before you reinstall the wheel liner of the car. Give them a little squeeze before you put them back into the vehicle to make sure they're tight, and then once the bolt goes in, it will fasten it even tighter to the vehicle then. I hope you were able to learn something today, and I appreciate you watching my video, and I'll just leave you this to hang on to.